Hey everyone, this is Charlie the Plug, your host of the Detroit Metro Plug podcast, powered by Empower You Ventures. Don't forget to subscribe so you too can be a part of the biggest empowerment network on YouTube and Facebook. We bring you weekly interviews of Detroit difference makers in the area of entrepreneurship, community involvement, also reaction to business news and community news. This does not happen without your support. Thank you. All right, welcome to the Detroit Metro Plug podcast. I am Charles McKay, aka Charlie the Plug, and this is episode 149 of the Detroit Metro Plug podcast. That means that over 149 interviews of what we call difference makers who are doing great things in the city of Detroit in the area of entrepreneurship, community involvement, giving back to their community, serving their community, providing great services, and doing positive contributions. And so we celebrate that. We got another great guest that I'm going to introduce, but I want to say happy Monday to everyone. Thank you for those who are joining us live on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. If you're joining us live, you have a question or comment for our guests. If you are supporting our guests here and you want to just give a shout out, we try to recognize all comments in the chat. So thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a part of this show. If you find value in what we're doing, please like, share, subscribe, share with your family and friends. We want to trick the social media algorithm to let them know that positive content is important too. That, you know, we do some positive things. People need to hear what's some positive things going on in the city of Detroit, and that's what we're about. So like, share, subscribe. Happy Monday again. We're hoping that spring will come, but it's a little chilly out here in Detroit. We're home in my home studio here in Detroit, and we're just waiting for spring to come. So it was snowing early today. Sometimes it snows in April. That's a song by Prince, one of my favorite songs. So before we get into our introduce our guests, I want to highlight our sponsor. We got two sponsors for today, and I just want to highlight their information. First, we got Brother Silas Williams. I'm not sure if you're in the market for purchasing a home. I know we're going through all these tariffs and everything, and because some people, unfortunately, are losing their jobs, but mortgage rates have been coming down. So are you ready to unlock the door of your dream home, whether you're a first-time home buyer or looking for the next perfect place? Silas Williams with Community Choice Realty Incorporated is here to make that process smooth and stress-free. With expert guidance, a personal touch, and a commitment to helping you find the right home, Silas is the realtor for you can trust. Call or text him at 586-251-7252. That's 586-251-7252, or send him an email to silas.williams@gmail.com, because your dream home is just one key turn away. And you want to make sure you let him know Charlie the Plug sent you if you decide to do business with him as one of our sponsors. As a gift to you, we give you a $20 gift card as a way of saying thanks. We also, our next sponsor, an event that's coming up. This is the event is a financial literacy program that's coming up on April the 26th. So, hey, Detroit, it's time to level up your money game and your community connections. Pull up on the Financial Literacy Month community event, Pathways to Prosperities, going down Saturday, April 26, 2025, at the Detroit Hispanic Development Corporation, hosted by the MAC Foundation, Making a Child Change Foundation. This event is free. I say it again, this is free. It's about empowerment, education, and economic elevation. Who should be there? Teens, young adults, families, educators, youth organizations, small business owners, community leaders. If you care about Detroit's future, this is your event. What's in store? We're talking about interactive workshops on budgeting, credit, and entrepreneurship. Very timely, because people are concerned about their money with things going on in the economy. You want to nail down budgeting, improve your credit, learn about entrepreneurship. There's going to be hands-on activities and money challenges. There's also a community resource fair, youth nonprofit showcases, raffle prizes, music, and giveaways. So I like the giveaways and prizes. If you are vendors are requested. So if you have a business and you are ready to vend, there's a link on the link tree there. You can go to the Making a Child Change website. You can sign up for vendor. There's a small vendor fee. It's only $25. I mean, you can't beat that vending. $25. And if you're a nonprofit organization, there is no fee. It's waived. You can showcase your organization and all the services you provide to the community. So if you're a business, though, it helps you to promote your business, connect with Detroit families, and maybe make some sales. Only $25. Don't miss the chance to be a part of something like this, something real. Lock in your spot, spread the word, and let's build pathways to prosperities together. Presented by the Mac Foundation, where community meets opportunity. So there's the web's link tree. You can sign up for being a vendor for $25, or if you're a nonprofit youth organization, it's free. You can also go to the Making a Child Change Foundation. If you want to support this event, you can make donations. But there's all the particulars, and we'll leave information in the description after this podcast. But just want to encourage everybody to support this event. Remember, April the 26th is a Saturday. All right. So let's go into our introducing our guests today. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 149. I'm going to do a formal introduction to our guests. I'm going to pull up the bio information I got.
Okay.
Our next guest is a visionary entrepreneur and founder of Kookies by Keirsten, KBK, a Detroit-based artisan cookie brand known for its handcraft, custom design creations. With over 15 years of experience. I'm going to get some horns for that. 15 years of experience. Our next guest has transformed her passion for baking into a thriving business, serving high-profile clients such as citizens of this great city. Rockford Construction, General Motors, Savvy X Fenty, and Comerica Bank. She firmly believes there's always an occasion for a cookie, and lives by her mission to wow every customer with every cookie every time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 149.
Hey.
Known as on the streets as the Cookie Lady.
That's right.
Keirsten Johnson.
Hey now. Oh,
So welcome to our podcast. I know you're a busy lady. I really appreciate your time. We're here about celebrating people, giving their flowers for what they're doing. And so we want to know the backstory. So just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, a little background. If someone's asked you, who is Keirsten? What would you tell them?
Keirsten is a mother of a wonderful daughter. Keirsten is a woman of faith. I'm a Black woman, literally.
Mm-hmm.
How about it?
All right.
I'm an entrepreneur, a Detroiter, a lover, builder, collaborator.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So we covered, you said, mother, Black woman, collaborator, builder.
Yeah.
And I read a few things in the intro. So you are a native Detroiter.
Absolutely.
Okay. And you, in preparation for this, we were talking before.
Mm-hmm.
So you East Side. Now, what high school did you go to?
I'm a Persian Doe girl.
All right. Shout out to Persian. Shout out to Persian.
There's that. So yeah, I'm literally a Doe girl. How ironic is that?
Oh, how ironic is that?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Off of the $7 million mile.
Right.
East 7 Mile.
East 7 Mile.
For sure.
No, I'm West 7 Mile.
Okay, that's what's up. It's
and 7 Mile last year.
Yeah.
I said last year, not last year.
Okay.
No, those no.
Okay, that's what's
all
up.
All right. So, I was thinking, you're known as the Cookie Lady. Did you get exposed to baking? How did this all start for you? Was you young? How did you get known as the Cookie Lady?
Absolutely. Well, my mother was a baker and my grandmother was a baker. It's actually my grandmother's cookie recipe that I'm using. And my grandmother used to make treats. My mother used to make treats all the time. My mother was really like into cakes and things like that. And, pies, but my grandmother made cookies all the time. And I got this cookie recipe and I'm like, well, I mean, what if we decorated it? I always want to do the most. So I'm like, well, what if we decorated it? And I got the opportunity when my daughter was in preschool.
Mm-hmm.
She, I was a new mom, and it was like, well, are you going to bring treats for London's birthday? And I'm like, oh my God, I got to do that. But at the time, I wasn't working. I used to work for a bank called Best Bank, and I wasn't working at the time. So I'm like, oh man, I got to make some treats. And I decided to make Elmo. Elmo was all the rave at the time. This is when Tickle Me Elmo, all of that was like hot. Yeah. So Elmo, when you look at his character, is really like a simple character. He's kind of got a circle face. His eyes are circular. His nose is an oval, and his mouth is a semicircle when you break it down in its simplest form.
Right.
And then I did it and took him to school. And the kids loved them. One parent was like, oh my God, these cookies are so cute, Kirsten. Do you do Transformers? Of course.
You just like, boom, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
She asked you to do her
son's birthday party. And the kid, it was like 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks.
Now, was that your first customer or you just did it?
That was actually my first customer.
How did you come up with your pricing back then?
Listen, that came later because I grossly underpriced only because I was an amateur at the time. I really wasn't confident in my work. It freaks me out now for people to be like, you're the cookie lady, you're the best. And it's not that I don't believe that, but it's just when you're self-taught, it almost becomes surreal. I don't want to have too much dip on my chip. I am the one. I recognize that there are other people who have talents, even more talented than me, but I hustle hard.
That's so when you came up with the first design with Elmo, I mean, did you go on YouTube? How did you figure out to do the colors and do the icing and make the difference? Because Elmo's like a purple color, right? No, he's red. No, Elmo, I'm sorry. I don't want to be.
That's Barney. You're telling me.
I'm talking about Barney.
There you go.
So Elmo is red. It's reddish. So
Absolutely. Well, I did go to one cake decorating class, and that was at Heinrich's, which was like a local supplier. So they explained to you local bakery supply store. So, they kind of explained to you icing and that. But I got my degree from YouTube University.
Right.
And learn and repeat.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you watched YouTube University, took a few decorating class.
Just one.
And just one. And then you just was practicing. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's some bars for people, maybe those who are watching or watch the repeat and you're trying to learn something. You don't necessarily have to, I'm not saying don't go to a formal school. Yes. But I mean, it's all about putting that work behind the scenes, practicing in the lab, in your kitchen.
Absolutely.
Putting that work in the kitchen.
Absolutely.
And
like a stir fry.
Yeah, whip it up like stir fry. Okay.
Absolutely.
No, I think you said that I don't know if you said it while we came live, but you mentioned when we were talking that you actually had a cookie recipe that was passed down.
Yeah, it was my grandmother's recipe. Absolutely. It was her lemon sugar shortbread cookie. Mm-hmm. And she used to have them all the time. She made them for my grandfather and he used to drink them with his coffee. Mm-hmm. And, we always reached up in the cookie jar and got the cookies out, but we didn't even realize what labor of love it was to make these cookies until I got old enough to help her in the kitchen one day. And I was just helping her making these cookies. And at the time, the cookies weren't decorated. They were just little cookies.
Okay.
That my grandfather loved. And
it was like a lemon flavor. Okay.
It was a lemon cookie.
Okay.
And obviously, the recipe has evolved somewhat, but it's very it's basically the same recipe.
Okay.
I just decided to decorate the cookie by different molds.
Now, I had your cookies before, and it has like a certain butter texture to it.
Yeah.
And a lemon. Yeah. Is that something that was a part of your mom's recipe, or that's something you tweaked?
Absolutely. Okay. Well, I just tweaked it by putting like I put honey in the cookies just because you don't
want to give out all your secrets.
Why not? I'm gonna give you that. It's honey. She should have take that, roll with that. But just little things to make it where it was a sustainable product.
Right.
Where we have a nice shelf life, things like that. Right. So you have to make changes for it in that way. But for the most part, I wanted to keep it very, very true.
Now, when did you feel more confident? Because you did that lady's Transformers. Mm-hmm. when did you start like, oh man, I can really do something with this? How long did it take you? How many batches?
Oh, it took me about 6 years to be confident.
Oh, okay.
Is what I'm saying. Because I'm learning.
Right,
I'm still learning, and people
Still.
are giving me an opportunity, you know. So the first set of cookies that I made, they was like a little hard, you know. You got to work out your icing consistency, things like that. All of these things that you just basically learn over time. I just learned them by doing. So it took a little while for me to be able to say, once more people started adding the occasions, which is how I came up with the slogan, there's always an occasion for a cookie, because, you know, people started reaching out for birthdays and baby showers and all of the things. So I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I could do this. But with every cookie order that I get, even now, I get nervous about some things, because there are things that I've never done before. There's always a new character that's coming out. Disney is going to dream up a character, and when that movie come out, everybody want that cookie, and you're going to have to figure out how to recreate that for your customer. And children are actually my favorite customers, but those are the customers that I really want to impress the best, because if your Mickey Mouse look like Mighty Mouse, a kid is gonna tell you. They gonna say,
"Oh, this ain't Mickey. This is Mighty Mouse." Wow.
I mean, you try good, but you know it ain't what it is, sis. But you know they're gonna keep it a B. So, you know, when you can capture the hearts of the children, and the children can see your cookie and recognize what it is, that's when I started to feel like, okay, I might be doing something.
Okay. Yeah. I like what you shared. That you know, when you started out, I'm not saying you're fearless, but you know, when that parent said, "Hey, can you do Transformers?" and you knew that you never did it before, you was like, "Sure." Right. What was it about you to have that? Because some people have what they overthink things before they launch something. They may have, you know, imposter syndrome, or they're like, "Oh, you know, I just did this for my child. You know, I don't know." But you jump right into it. Or maybe you had those struggles? No, I jumped right into it because, you know, it's the poker face that you got to have on. This is what it is that I'm going to do. And at the time, I didn't have a job. Okay. So, it was a way for me to be able to make some money initially. Well, I got 2 weeks to practice. Well, Kirsten, if you do anything enough times in 2 weeks, you're going to be able to get it down, especially something like the Transformer, because when you look at a Transformer logo, it's basically like a bunch of lines. You know what I mean? When you break it down to its simplest form, it's just a bunch of lines. I'm like, well, in 2 weeks, girl, you can get that down. But it's not without fear. Actually, I'm scared all the time. Wow. I was on Fox 2 yesterday. Right. I am afraid all the time. I'm literally shaking in the interview, but I have to be able to keep my game face on, because I realize that in order to be courageous, fear must be present first. Right. If you don't have fear, then you don't have a reason to be courageous for real. Right. So it's like figuring out how to not let fear paralyze me, and how to be able to like move in the fear. You know what I mean? But fear is a paralyzer. It's not that it goes away, because with more things that you do, the more leaps that you take, it's always a fear, because I'm an entrepreneur, which means this is my sole income. And I am a mother of a child. So I'm not just out here living fancy free. In fact, this kid is in college. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not out here fancy free. So when I take leaps, I literally have to pull out my measuring tape. Listen, it's going to be a leap, but I'm going to calculate that jump. I'm going to try to figure out what all the risks are before I actually jump out the window, because it's more than just me. If it was just me, you don't really have a responsibility. You know, with yourself, you can go blow off your check and nobody cares. You're just going to be sitting at home with no money. But if I mess up, a light might go off. They might come get a car. They know. Like, seriously, you know what I'm saying? Wow. So the pressure of that, but even with knowing that, I have to like move through and push through. Okay, I like that. We want to, man, you shared some bars that we'll visit. Oh, I wanted to be an MC. That's my side. I want to recognize a few of the listeners from 125 Plenty, Smart Lady, and a talented family. Oh my God! Thank you for supporting independent media and for that comment. We also got we got Paris here. I'm extremely proud of you, Charles. So thank you for supporting independent media and supporting this channel. Keep sharing with the community. Absolutely. All right. So I want to revisit, because about the fear thing. Oh yeah. You acknowledge that it's there, But I'm not saying you punch fear in the face, but you acknowledge it's there, but you still move forward. What would you have to say about people who are afraid to get started in whatever dream they have or concept or things? Because some people get stuck. What advice would you share with them that helps you? Because to me, not knowing you saying this, you appear to be fearless. Because you went out there and said, "I want to do these cookies. We're gonna make it happen."
Yeah.
But you're saying that you still deal with that.
Absolutely. I would tell anybody, first of all, it's normal to have fear.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about it is, it's kind of like when you walk in a house in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
The more lights that you turn on, the less fearful you become. Because when you walk into a house and you see a coat in a corner on a coat rack, it looked like the boogeyman. And then you cut on a light, which means you enlighten or you learn something.
Okay.
And then that flips on maybe the light in the kitchen.
Right,
and then you might be able to see, okay, that's just the you know what I'm saying? That's just I'm a metaphor girl. So
yeah,
let her cook, Charles.
Yeah, so, I like that. You almost borderline preacher.
Yeah, okay,
I like that.
It's just in me, it ain't on me. So and as you go through and you turn on lights or you go through and you learn things become less scary.
Less scary.
Right. So it's
That's
just
a bar
basically,
right there.
Come on, I got bars.
Yeah, you got bars. I like that bar.
So yeah, it's really not about, for people to say that you're fearless. To say that is really not being honest completely. There are some things that you are going to be fearless. Like I may have to walk up to a person when I get an opportunity and be like, "Hey, my name is Keirsten, do." But that's not without fear. I got to take fear with me. See, that's the thing with running this business. Whatever it is that you go on in your life, whatever insecurities you may have, whatever fears you may have, whatever you may have, you got to pack all of that stuff with you and be able to run the business. And the business is going to discipline you. Right. So Keirsten is in a place where, okay, like I don't necessarily like the exposure. Right. I'm grateful for it, but I'm not like a camera person where I'm in people's face every day on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up? It's me. I'm eating fries or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, when I present something, I always, am worried about, because most times I could get to dress up like this, but for the most time, it's a thug life. I got a scarf on. Right. I'm thugging it. You know what I mean? In the kitchen, absolutely. So, when I put my face before the camera, it's just certain things like that, that I want to always make sure that, I'm presentable. It's certain fears as far as like, for one thing, my grandfather told me, Keirsten, if you can't afford to buy it twice, don't buy it once. He told me, whatever you don't own owns you. So when it comes to like getting loans and things like that, those things I'm apprehensive of because there's a fear that I have to work through. That's a real thing. I have to work, because in my mind, I don't want to go in debt in order for this business to survive. I want this business to be able to support itself. But now that you're going to another level where you need to scale and you need to be able to pay people a salary. And now the employee contribution is you now. Right. You been getting it for years. Now it's you. So now I have to figure out all of that. And every month is not consistent. You have good times, you have down times. But it's like you have to keep consistency, which is why a lot of people get loans. But that means for Keirsten, I'm going to have to crawl before I walk it. We're going to go get all the free money first. We're going to do our pop-ups. We're going to do all of the things so that we can build for ourselves. And then, because whatever you don't own owns you. So if you don't own that building, or you don't own that car, or you don't own whatever it is you don't own.
Owns you. All right.
Period.
Yeah. All right.
So those are the things where it has helped me in life as a person. But that's not a good way to think as a business owner. So I have to like unpack those things and find out what it is. No, Keirsten, a loan is not necessarily a debt. A loan can be used as a tool. But Keirsten knows that first payment is due in 30 days. Right. Okay. So before you take the people money, because they're going to give it to you. Yeah. But before you take the people money, you better have a plan. You better know what you're going to do with it, or you're going to blow it. And guess what? They still want their money. Okay, there's that. They still want their money. I like, that kind of transition. I like when you was giving that scenario where, like, when you go into a room and it's dark and you may see a coat on
on a coat rack, and it may look like the boogeyman, but as you turn the light on, you saw that it was just a shadow.
Yes.
You got more lighting. And talk to us about that journey. How you, because when you first started, you didn't know how. I don't know if you know how to price things like that. How did you become more enlightened to know like the whole finances of your business and how to make it profitable?
There are still things I'm learning, even especially in the area of pricing. It's funny that you bring that up, Charles, because I wanted to make the cookies affordable based upon the people that I was serving. Kirsten, you are not making cookies for people in Grosse Pointe Woods when I initially started off. You are making cookies for moms that are just like you.
Okay.
Now you can price it. You can put this dip on your chip, but know that you could sometimes price yourself out of opportunity depending on who your market is.
Right.
But I got a rude awakening on February the 13th. I'll never forget the day. I went to Costco to get a case of eggs, and the eggs was $140 a case.
Okay, now that's when the eggs start. That's when eggs start going up. Yeah,
and that's just one ingredient. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's one ingredient in my recipe. So now, obviously, when
how much did it used to be before?
Expenses go up. Okay, I could get them. Well, in the wintertime, they're always more.
Right.
But I could go to GFS. I just went to GFS and was able to find them for $89. But they were $120. So you might get.
Now, is there other vendors that you like, Eastern Market or something that I don't know? Eggs is eggs.
Right. At this point. And that's what I'm doing.
Expensive.
I'm getting into it. And then when you go to other companies, because that's another thing, you can buy your things in bulk, but they may have a bulk minimum.
Yeah, you got
You know what I mean? So what I'm gonna do with 800 pounds of flour, like I eventually use them,
but it can go bad or So
see what I'm saying?
On your,
okay. So it's like you want to keep your expenses low at the same time.
Right.
You know,
right.
So it's like I'm always shopping around for different things, but whenever things are supposed to increase for me, that's supposed to forward on to the customer.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
You gotta eat.
But they don't care nothing about that. She thinks she all that.
Right.
She think because she was on the goop, that she can charge goop. And it's not about that. And literally it takes me hours to make your cookies.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's literally labor intensive for me, besides the ingredients that I have to stay abreast upon what's happening. Now I have a license, a food establishment license, which requires me to be in a commercial kitchen working. Right. You know what that means? Where I was used to being at home, just making money at home. Now I'm paying to go to work. Hourly.
Right. Because you got you telling, so you kind of giving game here. So because so do you mainly bake in the commercial kitchen? Because I know that cookies apply for the cottage law, right?
Yes.
You can still make them at home and go to a pop-up and sell them, right?
The cottage law says that you have to, once you gross
a certain
$25,000 a year.
25.
25. That's gross. They don't care nothing about your expenses. They not talking about
25 by
they're
selling
talking about gross.
That you're not under cottage law.
You're supposed to go and get your food establishment license. And then there are certain opportunities that are not available to you because you don't have your food establishment license. What your food establishment license does for you is it means that MDAR comes out. They've watched your processes. Right. They basically have certified you to be able to. Is that the
same as ServSafe or that's something different?
That's different. You need ServSafe. You need safe serve managers in order to even apply for your MDAR. So what Safe Serve Managers does is it basically tells you about the major food allergens, how to be able to, deal with contamination and, things like that as far as food safety. What MDAR does, the people with the white coats, deliver us from Eva, people, they come through and they watch your processes to see what you're doing. Are you washing your hands before you put your gloves on? Right. Do you have on a hairnet? Right. These earrings not gonna fly, none of that stuff. So they watch your processes to make sure that, okay, she's official. Now they've given you a license. A license is just like a driver's license. Yeah. It permits you to be able to do certain things. Now you can drive a car out here without a license.
Right. People who hustle backwards.
You see, but but no, cottage law is a part of it, but Michigan has one of the lowest cottage laws, to be quite honest with you. I mean, 25,000, you go California will say 75,000 in home, but really 25,000 is an issue for the cottage business because We're talking about 25,000. After 25,000, you want me to pay $25 an hour, $30 an hour, $35 an hour, sometimes $50 an hour
to rent the kitchen
in order to be able to rent the kitchen.
Right.
So if you're not considering what my expenses are,
right,
then you basically throwing me out to fail. You know what I mean? Where I'm just getting to here where I don't want to break the law because the law says this, and that.
Right.
And you don't even necessarily have to do anything wrong. All it takes is a hater.
Yeah.
To call and be like, hey, that's why that girl is always on her A game.
No hating out there.
You know, play it why you hate. Why you hate.
Hey, we want to
not nobody on this live, but
we want to recognize. I know this guest. I met them at a Tech Town event.
Hey, now
the business loan queen. If you ever need finances, you want to holler at your girl, business loan queen, for at real estate or well as commercial business.
Love it.
She said, "This is good, Mr. Charles. Yes, you have to have a plan for the money." All right, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for supporting independent media. Keep make sure you like, share, subscribe. So man, this stuff is deep, man. You're giving our audience a lot of information on the behind the scenes. So you sounds like you were under the cottage law because of you just getting started, and now that your business has expanded, there's certain requirements
and opportunities that a cottage law business. I mean, you can, but you can't exactly go and approach Comerica and be like, hey, what's up, Comerica? Mess with me. They're going to want to know, okay, are you safe?
Right.
You making cookies where? You know what I mean? So it really kind of adds to like your validity, like a degree or, you know what I mean? A license. You can get a kid to drive you to the store. The kid might be able to drive, but if he's got a license, then he's a licensed driver, which means he's been through some type of training.
Okay. Yeah. So basically you broke it down. So when you got started, you was kind of doing small parties for people, birthday parties, whatever the occasion. You were under the cottage law, and as you got more exposure and opportunity, you got your license, and so those are the things, and maybe people who are watching, that you got to put in place in order to work with, as I read in your bio, Comerica and Rock Financial and these different things. And how do those opportunities? So you got your food license first, and then those opportunities came open, or explain to our audience. Somebody may want to know, like, all right, I make cheesecakes, or I don't know, pretzels. I don't know what you make, but you make something. You're trying to figure out how do you get into this game when you work with corporations.
Okay, respecting all other faiths. I'm just talking about mine.
Right.
I'm telling you, it was supernatural.
Okay.
Because some of those opportunities I got, I hadn't got my license yet.
Okay, you keep it real.
I've been working, but we on the internet now. That's called self-snitching. They doing it, and I'm not. Kirsten ain't a self-snitcher, okay? But the thing is that I continue to keep my head down, and I worked until people asked who Kirsten was. Now the thing about the corporations, regular people work at corporations,
right?
So the secretary, where you made cookies for her kids party,
right?
Gonna talk to the boss. So you think you need to get to the big dog. It is the big dog you need to get to, but not really. It's really with the people that you interact with every day.
Every day. And
when people have had your work and they say, oh, well, we're thinking about having cookies for the Christmas party. I know a great person that can do.
Right.
So you're able to do things for the work that you do in the dark. Now, to be honest with you, at the very first large order that I got was from Credit Acceptance.
Wow.
Them people wanted 1,500 cookies, and it was just me. Now, 1,500 cookies ain't a lot of cookies when you scooping them, putting them on when you got the scoop and you scoop and you dollop on there. Okay. Talk to the people.
What was the design they wanted? Something
they wanted their corporate logo.
Their corporate logo. Okay.
Yes. But they wanted it 1,500 times. And I needed to have them individually wrapped, and they needed to be on time, because if the cookies is late but people don't need them, do they? Okay, if they late, I don't need them. So on top of that, I got to make sure that I have these cookies on time. Now my heart,
now did they give you a deposit, or how do you
just me? Now here's the thing, another thing with dealing with corporate business.
you give it our game. I don't know if you're an audience, you probably watching, give our game. So what
they do, this business did give me a deposit.
Okay.
But most of them have net 30. Most of them.
So you got to wait 30 days after?
Most of them want you to We good out here. You see our name in lights. Give us them cookies, and we gonna catch you.
So you send them an invoice. I don't know.
And
Let's say it's
net
$1,000 or whatever. They give you 500, or maybe some of them don't even give you.
Because I require 50% down.
So
I
give you
need money in
500,
order
and
to
then
be,
that 500 comes 30 days later.
I need money to be able to move.
Right, because you gotta get the ingredients and those eggs.
And then let me know that you're not playing with me. So you know,
get that deposit, and then they do a net 30 on you, 30 days.
They can. You know, they'll let you know because that's the thing with corporate businesses.
Right.
You might deal with the secretary, but the secretary got to take it to
Sure.
the decision maker. The decision maker got to go and sign off.
So what if you need that? I mean, I ain't trying to be funny. You know, this is real life.
We keep it in a bean, or we keep it in queue.
Do you need that?
Okay.
You need that $500, that DT bill coming that you didn't charge up that oven. You got to pay that commercial kitchen.
Oh yeah.
And you got to wait 30. What you gonna do with that? You holler.
Oh, yes.
I mean, how do you fill in the gap? Or you just make sure you got money saved up, or
all of that.
You do a bridge loan, or you use the bridge.
All of
that. Whether you got you piece. Okay.
All of the
until you get it flowing.
And then once you get things flowing, because they're different.
That's a bar, because people may need to know when you do this, you got to stack your money, because if you're working with the corporations, they do that net 30, this and that, and the money you thinking the money. He's like, oh, people see you getting the corporate business, but they may not know that there's a whole process.
Because here's the thing: when I'm out here talking about my business, they tell you when you talk about your business, you're supposed to say we. We this. They got me out here. We. And it's Kiki. Like, see me, you know what I'm saying? They got me out here speaking French. And it's really Keirsten out here.
Right.
But I don't want the customer to ever be nervous. Like, we want this lady to make 500 cookies for us, and it's just us. And it's just her. Y'all don't need to know that. Here at Cookies by Keirsten, we. You see what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, it's not all of the business, but I started to learn things about like the net 30 thing, that was all new, because when I'm dealing with a regular customer, I can tell you need 50% down, all of that. Mm-hmm. And they have to do that. And when you come to pick up the cookies, mm-hmm. I'm going to need the rest.
Right.
At the very least, I'm going to need the rest.
Right.
But, they're not all that way, but it's very different with dealing with regular people, corporations. With credit acceptance, how I got that was just a young lady. I have been making cookies for her. Right. And she just so happened to be cool with the executive secretary. Executive secretary was like, well, I really want to order some cookies for us this year. Listen, I know a great cookie maker. She goo. Like she was going in for the girl. Yeah. I just say goo. Just because, I'm feeling worse. Right. So it's like, she does this and that. So it's other people that will ride for you. It's not always what you know. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's who you know, and here's the key: what they know about you. Right. Are you reliable? Right. Is she a crook? Is she gonna come through? Right. Is she professional? Is she all the things? Because you can have a lot of people know you, but what are you known for? Because a lot of times your reputation mm-hmm. precedes you. Right. So you need to make sure that you're always on your A game every time. Right. So the secretary mm-hmm. who got a cookie from, hey, you sent us. Same thing just happened with me with this other company that I was working with, Rockford Construction. Mm-hmm. Rockford Construction, some people that reached out to me because they wanted to deal with small business. They was on their DEI tip, and I'm like, let's go. Right. But the secretary from Rockford Construction knows the lady from Albert Kahn. Hey, you sent us a gift for some cookies. Who was it that made those cookies for you? Oh, she's a great person. Her name is Goo. Right. And then when Rockford Construction called and say, we want to make cookies, but Keirsten, we need them delivered to these 18 addresses. So the 18 addresses are now Bedrock, Platte Moran, all of these different places where now Cookies by Keirsten has planted a seed all from the one business, which is why I'm saying relationships are so important. Wow. And the way people
I had to throw that in there.
Relationships are so important in the way that people see you, from the smallest person too, because I'm an observant person. Right. You could be nice to me because you think I'm whatever the case. You see what I'm saying? But I watch the way that you treat other people.
Right, right.
It's all this, everything is not overt. Some things are very nuanced, very subtle, things like that. So I'm always professional. I'm always, because you're writing on somebody's name, even whether it's a big company or if it's somebody that just referred me to do their kids' graduation. My sister told me you are the best.
Right.
Oh, what's your sister? My sister told me you can make a cookie look like anything. Stop telling people that, because they really try. They really try. But what I'm saying is, once you get the love of your customer, once you get the love of the relationships of people, people will speak for you. My name has been in rooms I've never been in. I didn't even know Rockford Construction existed. How did Savage X Fenty find me, Charles?
I think you dropped some bars, because what you focus on was you provided so much value up front and treated every customer, whether it was a small party or birthday party, and you provided value, a good product. And like you said, you don't know where these people work. You don't know who I know, or I may have your cookies and show it to somebody, and they may be a big wig at GM or another company. And I think that's a great lesson that you're sharing, is that you provide value, provide good service, because you never know who knows who and what they say when you're not in the room.
Absolutely.
And that opened up the door. Because, somebody's watching and they got a product. They're like, man, how do I get these corporate contracts? It's basically, you just provided good service, a good product. And as they went out to their jobs or their networks and they shared your stuff, that opened up doors, and you figured out the way to deliver that product on time, good product, and they spread you out. So I think the key
is on time, because that's the thing.
That's great.
Oftentimes there is not a lack of talent. You can have good talent, but you can do bad business.
Yes.
You really can.
Right.
You can do beautiful hair, but if my appointment is at 10 o'clock and you walking in at 11 o'clock,
that's bad.
That's bad business.
That's bad business.
You know what I'm saying? Because now you're saying that your time is more important than my time.
Right. What they do that at?
What
they do that
at? And what you allow is what will continue.
Right.
So I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do at the time that I said I'm going to do it. I want you to do what you're going to do when you said you was going to do it.
Great.
No problem. Listen, I don't want no problems.
Right.
But if it's a problem, no problem.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to go into more how people can go find out more about you. We're going to share your social media handles. We're going to show some demos. We got a demo here.
Okay.
Some of your work, and then how people can get in touch with you, and hopefully get even more orders.
You're so easy to talk to. Let's get into it.
So we got a few comments here. I want to make sure. We have Business Stone Queen says, God is good. He will open doors out of nowhere.
Yes.
Thank you. Relationship. Thank you, Paris, for the relationship. This is a former neighbor of mine. She's joined in on the podcast. So shout out to Paris.
Hey.
All right. So we want to recognize. So those who got questions or comments, you can share them in the chat. We try to recognize. So we're going to take a quick break. Come back. We're going to learn about some other things that the cookie lady got going on. She was recently on Fox 2.
Yeah.
She got an event coming. We're going to talk about that. All things Detroit. So you can try her products, buy them. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Just a few announcements.
Let's go.
And let me pull this up here. Here we go.
Hey, Detroit. Are you a Detroit area small business owner, entrepreneur, leader of a nonprofit organization, or a business service provider? And are you looking for ways to share your product, service, or your programs with a local Detroit audience? Let us help you increase your reach by becoming an ad sponsor with the Detroit Metro Plug podcast powered by Empower You Ventures. Our weekly video podcast is a growing local feature on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn that focuses on local business and community news. This gives you a chance to connect with local Detroit customers or clients. We offer cost-effective ads to fit your needs. Click the link to learn more about our current ad specials. And remember, connections matter. This is Charlie the Plug with the Detroit Metro Plug podcast.
All right, we're back. are just wrapping up our interview. Just want to highlight our platinum sponsors. So if you're in the market for purchasing a new home, you're looking to upsize or downsize or get into a certain neighborhood for school, your family is growing, you need more space, I want you to support our sponsor, Silas Williams. So are you ready to unlock the door of your dream home, whether you're a first-time buyer or looking for the next perfect place? Silas Williams with Community Choice Realty is here to make that process smooth and stress-free. With expert guidance, a personal touch, and a commitment to helping you find the right home, Silas is the realtor you can trust. You can call or text him at the number listed there on the slide, 586-251-7252, 586-251-7252, or you can email him at silas.williams@gmail.com, because your dream home is just a turnkey away. And if you tell them Charlie the Plug sent you, you'll get a gift certificate of $20 just by us saying thanks for supporting our sponsor. Also, other sponsor today, upcoming event on April the 26th. April is Financial Literacy Month, and there's a Financial Literacy Month community event coming to the Hispanic Development Corporation, hosted by the MAC Foundation. So pull up to the Financial Literacy Month community event on Saturday, April 26, 2025. If you are a teen, young adults, families, educators, youth organizations, small business owners, community leaders, if you care about Detroit's future, this event is for you. There will be interactive workshops on budgeting, credit, entrepreneurship, hands-on activities, money challenges. Also, a community resource fair for youth nonprofits showcases. There's going to be raffle prizes, music giveaways, you name it. And also, if you are a vendor, there's an opportunity for you to sign up. There's the Linktree website there. You want to put that in. You can sign up as a vendor. You can register. If you are a nonprofit, I think the vendor fee is waived. It's only $25. It's an opportunity to expose your business. So sign up. You have up until April the 26th to register. So lock in your spot, spread the word, and let's build pathways to prosperity together. Presented by the MAC Foundation.
Let's go.
All right. So
that's my girl.
All right. So we've been talking to our great guest here, Kookies by Keirsten.
Hey.
She's been talking about her journey, just dropping knowledge. I hope everybody get about how you plan your business, becoming enlightened with financial literacy, how to price, how to deal with corporations, and main thing, how to provide good on-time customer service, providing value and building over time. So I want to share. We have a demo. I don't know if the camera can focus on. We can focus on here. We have. If you explain this, you have Burnus and Buttermaid. All right.
Well, on April the 13th, I am going to be at the Eastern Market for all things Detroit. So I came with all things Detroit. What's more Detroit than Better Made? Nothing. What's more Detroit than Verner's? Nothing. So I just wanted to play on the Detroit theme, which is why I kind of made this this box here, just to kind of represent a little bit of Detroit, my city that I love so much.
All right. So we're going to show some slides of some of your work.
Okay.
Let me go over here. Pull that slide up. All right. So this is some of the stuff you created.
Yeah.
So you got. So explain. You got some. Somebody wanted some interstate signs, and then you got. Was that Wonder Woman right there?
Yeah. Well, that's Wonder Woman. You know, she come in all shades. We all Wonder Women.
Okay.
So I got the different shades. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me. Dark skin thing. You know, we love pow. We love boom. We say those words. Detroit city limit. Interstate 96, Interstate 75, 94. If you know, you know.
Okay. Right.
And then obviously the Better Made chips. We got our Fago and we got our Verner. So that's a little bit of our offerings that we're going to be doing for all things Detroit, as well as we're going to be, we got some merch coming out. We got our own we got our own spatulas and pot holders and aprons and all the things.
I see you represent the cannabis. Did you do something for the cannabis company?
Don't panic. It's organic. But yeah, like I said, it's a cookie for all occasions. So 420 is a national holiday. So, you know, that some
that's
people
coming up.
recognize.
Yeah. Okay.
So we wanted to
Yeah.
let you know, basically to be able to show the variety.
Okay.
Down at the bottom there, we did, now doing this particular set of cookies like this, at the bottom, the Minecraft, that was actually like a first try where he won. Like I had never done the Minecraft dog before. So I had to break him down, see how he boxed. Once you break him down to its simplest form, how do you eat an elephant? A little bit at a time. You know what I mean? So it's like once you break him down, he just a bunch of little boxes. In the middle, Miss Cleta and Company, she had like a Tiffany themed birthday. So those were her colors. And then she's known for loving Starbucks. So we got our little Starbucks cup in there. And then above that, Totoro is an anime character that I learned about the day that the lady called and said she needed those cookies. So we put him on the little, we put him on the little bottle that we got there, but that was the first time that I had ever tried it. And then, we got carnival cookies, obviously, for all occasions. This was particularly, I think this was a baby shower, but it's cookies for all occasions. You name your theme and we can do it for you, as well as up at the top, corporate clients. Prosperous had an event today where Huntington Bank was there. The event was called Seeds for Growth. So they asked Kirsten, can you make us some cookies? And I can. Indeed. Sure will. How many times we doing it? So, those are just some of the things that I've done, but I learn new things all the time. I'm trying to be a student. Yeah. Another thing, because I hung around a lot of older people.
Right.
So I got a lot of quotes in me that they told me. Now, some of the quotes is from older people. Some of the quotes is from rappers. Some of the quotes is from, other things. But when the student shows up, the teacher will appear.
Okay. All right.
Which means any opportunity that you have to learn it, because you can even learn from somebody dumb.
Right. Yeah.
I don't mean dumb in the sense that, they're not cognitively able, but I'm saying as far as any mistakes that they may have made. Right. If you're looking to learn,
right,
you don't have to celebrate their mistake, but you can look and be like, okay, so I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do this. You don't want to have a party and invite people in and get them drunk and lock the door and all that kind of stuff, because it'll come back to bite you in 20 years. You know what I mean? So it's like whatever opportunity that you have to learn, always be a learner, because you're always self-improving. You're always improving yourself. Now, issue that I'm having, Charles, since now I got people listening, is that I'm really trying to build a team.
Okay.
Building a team has been the hardest thing for me to do. Because I wanted to work with the youth. I have this program that's called We Pay for A's, where basically you get an opportunity to get 4 bonuses a year, because I Pay for A's was actually inspired by my daughter London, because that's how I was able to help her get through Renaissance. Listen, you bring me a report card, I'm gonna give you $20 for every A, $10 for every B. I don't pay for C's. Now we at Wayne State. You see what I'm saying? It works. It works. So I know that money sometimes motivates people. Now that's a great thing for a person that's a student. But the drawback to students is when the sun comes out and it's hot outside and it's their birthday, because Kirsten, the person cares that it's your birthday. Cookies by Keirsten don't care about nobody, not even Kirsten, because Kirsten can have a headache. Kirsten can be sick. Kirsten's mother, my mother, I don't mean to bring it up, it's just fresh. 3 years ago, my mother, we're in 25. My mother passed in 22. I'm an only child. When my mother called me and told me, Kirsten, I need to go to the hospital. I don't feel good. So I drive over to my mother's house and I'm driving her to the hospital. My mother slumps over on my arm. I drive in the emergency room and I jump out and I go in there and I'm screaming like a crazy person. Please, I need somebody to help me. They come out, they get my mother, they get her in the back, get her stable. I still got to go home and take London to school. So I go home and take London to school because it's finals. So she can't miss school because this is finals. 11th grade is actually more important than 12th grade in a sense, because your 11th grade year is the year that they kind of like watch you, So I can't drop the ball on my baby. So I got to take her to school. I come back to the hospital. They tell me, she survived, but she's been without oxygen on her brain for 10 minutes. Now, a lot of the orders I could return, But there were some people, like this lady was having this big graduation party for her
Still had to
daughter.
put the work in.
This lady was having a big graduation party for her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She had been paying me for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So even though two things were very true at the same time in that moment, was she sorry that my mother passed? She was.
But she still wanted those cookies. The show got to go on. That's an important thing. The people who are entrepreneur life, when you got, I mean, yes, we have tragedies and challenges like with your mom, and you have responsibilities for your daughter, but the show has to go on. Yeah.
So even in my fear,
and I appreciate you being transparent, sharing that.
Yeah, I mean,
some people will be like, "Man, that's
because they want." That's why I was asking you at the beginning of the interview, like, "Are we gonna keep it real? Are we gonna keep it
real?"
You know what I mean? And it's like in this, as business owners, there are going to be a whole bunch of times you're gonna quit, a whole bunch of reasons why you feel like this is a justifiable reason for you to quit, and it could very well be. But perseverance is really.
Right.
Was key. And you know, people may call it stubborn, but you know, stubborn and perseverance is pretty much the same thing. It just all depends on the context of the word. Now they're gonna say, Kirsten, you stubborn, you're a stubborn Taurus.
Right.
I'm strong-willed.
Strong-willed.
I persevere.
You're a leader.
I don't like stubborn.
Let's say you're resilient. You're
but resilient, and that's what it is. It's like
you're resilient to do what you
building you up. When you get on the, I know all these analogies. When you work out, you may work out, you go to the man almost killed me at the gym. Tell you why, because I was paying attention to him. He had been working out every day. I'm gonna get on the Stairmaster, but he older than me. So he running on these stairs. I'm thinking youth. Ain't no way I'm gonna let this man
be
okay. And I'm trying to run his race.
Right.
But what I don't know is that he has been training. You see what I'm saying?
So
now I get on there. And I can't do 30 seconds. So I'm going to have to, and not at the pace that he was going.
Right.
So I had to like cut it off and then go back and build up every day. It's the same thing. Yeah. You can, when you pick up a weight, you pick up the weight, the weight is heavy, but as long as you keep lifting that weight, the weight change? No, the weight didn't change. Your strength changed for you to be able to do it. But when you're trying to run somebody else's race, when you're trying to watch what he's doing on the treadmill, instead of, you're going to kill yourself. Because he been training.
We got a question from the audience. Was your business on purpose, accident, meaning was baking, making something you cared to do, or was it an initial moneymaker?
It was all of the things. At the time when I initially made my first cookie, I was just baking cookies for my daughter because I really didn't have money to buy pizza and cake and all of that for the whole class. So I'm like, well, we're going to try to make a fun activity. So initially it was just about baking. And then it became about making money because I needed to make money. But here's the thing about that. Understanding your numbers also, because there was a time that I thought that I was making money, Charles, and I was not making money. You know why? Because I saw the money that was coming in. I wasn't paying attention to my expenses. And it wasn't until I got a mentor. Actually, I got into entrepreneurs class where they was asking me stuff about my business I did not know. And then my mentor said, okay, Kirsten, you're looking at these numbers. Let's look at these percentages. He asked me a question I couldn't answer. What percent of your income goes toward your expenses?
Hello.
I don't know.
These mics on? You didn't know.
I didn't know. So now you got to find out when you get those answers. Then when you get the answer and you find out that 68% of your income is going toward your expenses, what does that tell you? It tells you that your cookies are too low. Which means you got to increase them. But if I increase them, she thinks she
somebody be like, your price is way too high.
You got to cut it. They be trying to play the girl. It really is just about studying the numbers, you know? So business is having the craft and doing the thing is great. But the business is about the numbers, making decisions based on data.
I think we this next question.
And that way they had another thing.
How long
was it initially a moneymaker? Yeah, it was, but I wasn't making money because I didn't understand the numbers. I thought I was making money because I was sending out invoices and people was paying them, but I didn't realize that I was spending most of the money
on ingredients, your expenses, your commercial kitchen. So it's important for those entrepreneurs, know your numbers, and know and so that you know that you're making a profit, because you don't want to. you know, you want to move it from a hobby to a business. You want to make sure you're making a profit because your time is money.
Absolutely.
I think we answered this question. How long you been in business? So 15 years.
Yep. I've been in business.
Oh, I don't know how long. You've been cooking for.
I established my name
Right.
in 2009.
Oh, 2009. Okay.
Yes. And I was making cookies, but I wasn't making enough money to be able to support my daughter.
Right.
So I went back to what I knew, which was banking. And then I took a 5-year hiatus where I was working at Chase.
Right.
And that was like, you know, I kept walking past that sign every day. Right. Chase what matters. Chase what matters. Chase what matters. And then I just quit one day. I saw it as a sign from God. Right. It's chase what matters. Right. Because my baby is growing up and I'm at work. Right. People calling me, hey, London walking today. Hey, London said goo, 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 goo. Right. And I'm at work trying to, you know what I mean? And it just wasn't for me. So I took a 5-year hiatus. And then after that, I just continued to go in. But during that time, I had sick loved ones. The ability for me to be able to work, for me to be able to work from home allowed me to be able to take care of loved ones because I grew up with my mother, her parents, and she had brothers. Right. Well, in the last 7 years, my mother, my grandfather, and my grandmother all died. So that's basically like my entire family, with the exception of my uncle that I have left, and then my mother's got 2 other sisters. But you know, for the most part, it was like, oh my God, I'm really by myself out here. So even trying to deal with that, and even being Kirsten the adult. But I've never had to be Kirsten without my mother, or never had to be Kirsten because my mother, she was going to root for me all the time. Kirsten, I got your back. She was the one that I could confide in, the person I could tell my secrets to, all of those things. These people out here, you can't be vulnerable with people out here telling them that you're going through stuff. They be happy, honey. Like, yeah, she is losing. No, ma'am, she is fine. All things are great. But, you know, just to be able to have that. So just be able to rely on myself and things like that. You know, that's what I mean, how personal things even ooze into your business because you're still a person running a business.
Yeah. I want to, as we wrap up, I want to make sure people know how they can connect with you. So they can follow you on Instagram,
Please,
Facebook.
y'all, help me get on help me on Instagram because I had a Instagram, and you know, you follow all of the you got all of those things that you need to take care of. And my first Instagram page when I was on Fox 2 the first time got hacked. I didn't even know that I didn't have a page that I went to log in. So I'm on a rebuild. I got like 1,300 followers there. So y'all go over there and follow your girl on Instagram.
Follow her on Instagram.
Because you know they care about followers now.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So that's how if they want orders, is it best to go to the website, email, or what's the best way?
Absolutely. You can go to our website and get a quote form, but any way that you see fit to contact me, I'm on you like pneumonia.
Okay. So website, email,
or see us April the 13th. Come down to the Easter Market. Okay. We gonna be it's shares 3 through 5. So I'm not gonna be the only one there. It's gonna be a whole bunch of dope vendors there because Detroit does it better. So you'll be able to see what all of Detroit has to offer. There's gonna be food trucks there. All of the things is going down on April the 13th. Come through, pull up on us.
All right. So we want to make sure coming up, all things Detroit this Saturday. That's
Sunday, April 13th.
April 13th.
From
Sunday,
12 to 5.
Easter Market, 12 to 5.
Go get your tickets, or you can get early bird tickets so you can beat the crowd and get there a little early, get in and out. Yeah. It's a good time.
And you want to check, they want to make sure you got some other products. You want to, some of these going to be there?
So this is one of the things that I'm going to debut because, you know, I had a cookie kit that I started, but then I thought about what about a single cookie kit? Okay. So what we going to do, we got a single cookie for you there where we give you a template, give you some colors. It's going to come with a little paintbrush. All you got to do is dip the paintbrush in the water, put it on the colors, and go off.
All right. So April the 13th, this Sunday, 12 to 5, all things Detroit. Cookies by Keirsten will be there.
Yes, pull up on it.
Pull up on it, yeah. And if you let me show that one slide again. If you want to get direct orders, you saw some of the demos we showed today.
Absolutely.
You heard her story. Follow her on Instagram, Facebook. Go to the website, email. And then you can come to All Things Detroit to sample, buy a few, and then maybe have it at your next party. Anything in closing as we wrap things up you want to share with our audience?
I want to talk to the other entrepreneurs. Listen, keep going. Keep going. You get to shine in the daytime.
Yes.
For the work that you do in the dark.
Right.
You keep working.
Working.
You make people ask, who is that? Because that's all that I did. Everybody like, oh, she on Fox 2. She on this and that. That's because I kept my head down and I continued to work. Not having to flex is the biggest flex.
Right.
Where your name is going to precede you. You make sure that you do good business because they expect for you to do a certain type of business.
Right.
You always remain professional and know that people tell their friends. So just as good as your word can get out there, good things can get out there, bad things can get out there too. So you keep that in mind. It's not what you know. Sometimes it's who you know and what they know about you.
So it's not about who you know, what they know about you.
Let's go.
All right. So, here we celebrate difference makers in Detroit who are having positive contributions. And
are you calling me a difference maker?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
By doing your business, facing fear.
Oh wow.
Facing fear, punching fear in the face, going in fear, doing this and building this business and providing a good product. And I'm sure those in our audience have learned some things. So we want to just celebrate you and thank you for sharing your story and the work that you're doing. I know you have great things coming.
Hey man, listen, we gotta talk that down. I appreciate you so much. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And the work that you do. I'm watching you. You getting out here.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a lonely road.
Yes.
And you got to be on it like you want it every day.
Yes.
Absolutely. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for everybody that's watching. Thank you for all of you at home. You all continue to support Detroit Metro Plug podcast. He is out here putting positivity into the earth so that we'll be able to feed one another good positive things to allow us to be able to all grow as a community. We need to support that so we can have more of it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for being on episode 145.
Yeah.
And thank you those who are joining us in the comments with your questions and comments.
Thank you.
And if you find value in what we're doing, please like, share, subscribe. Let the social media streets know that positive content is important too. Absolutely. All right. So that concludes our episode. We'll see you next Monday, another difference maker. And until that time, just want to wish you guys a good week. Hopefully we get some here in Detroit. For those who are in Detroit, we get some of that spring weather. You guys stay warm, and we'll see you next week. Have a good night.
Hey everyone, this is Charlie the Plug, your host of the Detroit Metro Plug podcast, powered by Empower You Ventures. Don't forget to subscribe so you too can be a part of the biggest empowerment network on YouTube and Facebook. We bring you weekly interviews of Detroit difference makers in the area of entrepreneurship, community involvement, also reaction to business news and community news. This does not happen without your support. Thank you.